righty. First of all, good afternoon, guys. Welcome to our meeting. Hold on one second.
Are we recording? Is it recording? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, first of all, good afternoon. Thank you guys for joining us for the AHAC board meeting of February the 25th at 4 p.m. And our first line of business is to approve the agenda. I forgot, we can't do that. So we'll just go right past that. Where do we want to go with this?
Okay, guys, here's where we're at. We are required to have sitting in this room 6 individuals. Insofar as we only have 1 individual here, we can't have a formalized meeting. We can have a workshop, which is what I'm going to propose to do. In a workshop, we can't take any votes, etc. Also, I want you to know that anytime henceforth we have a meeting, all meetings are going to be recorded and they're going to be posted to Facebook or some other website. But all meetings are going to be now and recorded. So now we have 2 people.
Yes, you know what, I didn't realize they come in the other way.
So, but anyway, we're still 4 people short. But we can still discuss some of the items here in preparation for the next meeting. So I also want to let you know that at some point during this meeting, we're going to open it up for anybody in the general public to call in and voice their opinion on matters that we're going to be talking about, which is an upcoming public hearing for our community development block grant program. We're going to wait for Ms. Wheeler to come back into the room, and then we will start at that time. Does anybody have any questions before we proceed?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So Shane, see how they treat you? See how she treats you? I got your back. I see what's going on here.
I read the thing that everybody in the room has to be sitting on the Zoom.
So how can you just hear out of the way?
I don't know. Can you see him on there?
No. He needs to come in some.
Can't come in too close because I got to be 6 feet apart.
But you're cut off. We can't even see you at all.
Okay.
There you go. I can see you. I can see you now.
Can you see her? Is she sitting there?
Yep. We can see her right there.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I'm glad to be here. I've got work to do. I'm well.
Oh, well, definitely wonderful. All right, guys. Well, I want to take this time. First of all, again, thank you for coming out and taking time to handle the business of the county for affordable housing. And it is my great pleasure to present to you a great county commissioner, a great friend. She's very, very dedicated and ready to assist us and give us her wisdom in this. Commissioner Mary Helen Willett. And if you want to just say a few words, you're more than welcome to, and just say hello to the.
I'm just glad to be a part of this team, that's for sure, because I realize that we have a lot of work to do, and it seems like the momentum is in our favor. And I'm energetic, enthusiastic, and ready to help in any way I can, and I'm really good with the paintbrush.
All right.
Yes, sir. Okay,
Right now, what we're going to do is a workshop.
that's
We're
perfect,
gonna go.
that's perfect.
So,
You can catch me up.
yeah, well, we should have received the book.
I do.
Past minutes, along with our AHAC and all that good stuff, so we.
I'm ready to go.
You're as up to date as you can.
Thank you.
Sir, if you don't mind?
Okay.
All right, what we had, just so that you know, we had talked about in the past, reducing the number of individuals on this board in accordance with the regulations. That's not gonna happen, as a matter of fact, with the addition of Commissioner Wheeler, rather, We have 10 members, and we have 2 in the wings that have applied for the position, which we'll be bringing forth. So we will be back at full strength with an 11-member board. So that will be stricken, just so that you know, we're not going to be asking to vacate any seats. Next thing that we are looking at is the current IRR. As you know, we are required now annually to provide a IRR, which basically is to look at all the rules, regulations that the county has put forth to see if there's any modifications or any other language that we may wish to include in a presentation to the county to see about making affordable housing more affordable. Anything that's restrictive, and you all have a copy, you probably have more than one copy of it. So we had last year some ideas presented. They never really got traction. So we're going to ask you to take another look at them again to see if there's anything you want to expand upon. If not, if you have any other ideas that you want to put forth, by all means, we'll be looking for that. And then finally, we'll be going out into the general public. We'll be sending letters out to start with the Builders Association to try to get them, give us some input along with GACAR's people to see if they have any input onto any regulations or rules or anything they think that we can do to, again, to eliminate or remediate some rules and regulations to make housing more affordable. The next one, and if I'm going too fast for anybody, please tell me to stop, slow down. If you have any questions, please just shout. Next thing that we're looking at is the CDBG fee, CDBGCV, which basically is the Community Development Block Grant COVID package. The state has received $41 million to disperse throughout the state of Florida for the small cities. There are 2 types of CDBG programs in the state of Florida. One is entitlement, one is small cities. Alachua County falls under the small cities. We can apply for a grant to Department of Economic Opportunity. Minimum request would be $200,000, maximum request of $5 million. We have a couple of potential projects, and I'll go over those in just a minute. Again, we cannot vote on anything because of lack of quorum, but we certainly can take suggestions. These are simply projects that have been presented to me, but if you have something that you want us to consider, us will include the Board of County Commissioners, we will present that at that time. By all means, it's the time. If, however, you want to attend the CDBG public hearing, it will be on March 9th in Board of County Commissioners. You are certainly welcome to attend. So right now, number one, as many of you are probably aware, Board of County Commissioners, along with Community Support Services, recently acquired the budget in, and it is being retrofitted to house the homeless. That is its only exclusive clientele. No other clientele will be allowed in it. You will have had to be homeless prior to gaining access to that. So right now, there's about 36 rooms in there. We are looking for a complete redo of that property. We need a couple of roofs. We need a generator. We need to redo the parking lot. We need to add 4 new ADA compliant rooms. We need to upgrade the heating, electrical, windows, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Ballpark estimate right now is $2.3 million to do the renovations. And I think this is an ideal project for DEO to fund. Again, anything and everything that is done with those dollars has to have a direct and telling me that you want to buy everybody a pink Cadillac is not going to fly for COVID. Okay. The next one here is a SARS-CoV-2 RNA wastewater monitoring system. You should have documentation in your stuff. And basically, what that is we've got a group in AHAC that is looking to set up a monitoring system in low and middle income areas to monitor. Right now, they price it up to 10, which is about a little over $1.2 million. We set up 10 monitoring stations along with 1 year's worth of collecting samples. What they do is they monitor the waste stream. They can tell you if an outbreak is imminent, although you may not show signs of, by the way, not only what's monitor, so a lot of times it will show itself in the waste stream prior to becoming evident in the community. So that's a project that they're putting forward. Next one was a high springs project. I think it's a good project actually, because I believe that facility has been sold or the boxes have been sold, or they, that's the board of county commissioners are looking for. Not sure how that's going to be. I don't think it's going to be applicable for the funding. And then finally, the rectification request was to look at possibly add sidewalks with the swag area, with the regional not neighborhood eligible activity. Staff point of view, we are obviously pushing budget motel. That's a simple project. We've been trying to do something like this now for a while. And I think that with the investment of the county dollars in this project, maybe a little bit more. Now get this facility renovated within an 18-month period. Probably the best use for these funds. Then that's the staff's opinion. So at this point, I would like to open it up to members to discuss the alternatives they have for potential funding and whether or not they are in support of the budget. Thank you.
All right. Do we have anybody?
For the outdoor event center and festival of arts park.
It was a little hard to hear. I think some of the folks who are on the call are muted, so we're getting their sound as well.
Can I have someone needs to mute for me? I can hear you. All right, thank you very much.
So
right.
if I just want to make sure I heard correctly, because like I said, it was difficult to hear. Of the 3 projects, you were saying that the motel project fit within, I mean, obviously that's the one that fits best within our mission as the AHAC, but you're also saying that that's the best fit for the CDBG for this DEO request for proposals, as opposed to the sidewalk or that fits better within the parameters of what the CDBG program is looking for. I couldn't hear for sure about the sidewalk one.
No, actually, they are all 3 of them are eligible projects. Okay, so they all fit within the parameters of CDBG activity. However, our recommendations for the highest and best use, I think, would be the motel. I think we would have much more long-term benefit by having the hotel in place than actually the sidewalks. And the monitoring might be a project that the Board of County Commissioners might want to look at separately. I can't speak for them at this point. But again, with that particular project, you know, again, you're dealing with a limited clientele. Excuse me, I apologize. I'm going to check this out. An apology. So they are all eligible. However, like I said, staff's recommendation would be to go with the motel.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? All righty.
I have a question. Of the wastewater, have you all had any, do you have any idea about how much it would cost to do that? Okay, thank you.
Now remember, that is an estimate based on 10 sample units.
Okay,
So if you want to do more, it's going to cost us.
okay.
So when I had my discussions with the gentleman, I just wanted something to present to you. So you're looking at say $1.1, $1.2 million. And just to give you a little bit more, what they do is they put a container in the waste stream. It's about a gallon container that they put in. They then take samples out of that container and send it off for analysis. The rest of it is just poured back into the system, and they just repeat that over and over and over again. Sampling can be done initially by their staff. which we would hope to have them at some point trained, either someone from Public Works or I'd like to see the health department probably be a better fit, but then that's not my call. Because they have, I would say, a higher degree of expertise in dealing with potentially contaminated materials, which this could potentially be. So
That's what I was just trying to get a sense of. So if it did go before the board, that, because I think it's probably a pretty important thing to do too, that if there are other sources for funding, then we wouldn't want to use the grant for that. And I will tell you that the High Springs project is still out there.
Okay.
And but we're trying to we're discussing this with the High Springs community as to apply for a grant to actually make that happen through their own grant application.
they told us they were looking.
Okay, okay, is the one at the Douglas Center or, okay, there's two different projects right now that are competing in, so but High Springs is a target area for one of those projects for sure, so.
That the reason it costs is because it has paid.
Yes.
Sale.
Okay,
So
okay.
I didn't know whether the sale was actually,
They
going
sold,
through.
what's happened is that property has been sold, but
Okay.
it's been divided. And now it is divided, the land is separate from the actual campus of the church. Are we talking about Fellowship Church? Okay, well, it's been divided out.
Okay.
So there's a separate sale now for that portion of it.
Okay.
So it's still on the discussion, where High Springs is gonna be discussing it tonight, and we're waiting for the lead from them right now to make sure that this is something they really want to have in their city limits, and then
Okay.
it's very exciting.
So at this point, do we have anybody that is public outside of our board?
Okay.
Called in?
All right. Do we have anybody from the general public that would like to speak concerning this matter?
Any other comments?
Any other comments from the board?
I missed the name of the motel. Pat Abbott here. What's the motel that you said that has been purchased?
The budget inn on 441, right across from Meridian on 441. I think it's next to the Scotty Inn. Isn't it?
Yep, Scott is in, yeah.
Scotty's Inn and the budget inn. And across the street is Meridian. So as you might, imagine the fact that we are dealing with a homeless population and we have Meridian right across the street, I think is of great benefit to getting them assistance and normalization back to societal living. At least that's our hope that we can accomplish.
And you said there are 36 rooms?
That's correct.
Thank you.
That's about purpose, Bill. This is the solution we're looking for, like this.
I think that it's a great, it's great because Gainesville and the county, you guys are trying to take the front line on this. And as I tell them, I've been on this board 8 years, I've been the chair. And I've never seen this much momentum to get it done. I think I was sharing with someone the other day that even for my business, we almost went under. But I had great people like Bill at the Santa Fe G-Tech set me down and said, okay, we got to reduce some stuff. And we scanned back some stuff. And now we're actually coming up in COVID. And so I think this will be a great blessing for our community. It will bring us to some of the visions that we've been trying to do for a long time and have just not had time and the funding to do.
Right.
So with that being said, I don't know.
Well, actually, at this point, again, we are not able to vote on anything, but I would like to, if possible, get a consensus of the type of project that you think we should do, or if you have a separate project you would like to suggest that we consider.
I have a couple of thoughts there. And I made some notes ahead of time about things that I thought would be particularly relevant to this committee's objectives. Number one, I love the shelter idea that is already on the table, the first option with the motel conversion. I think that's really smart, really efficient use of this type of fund to address the type of problem that we're looking at. I also think there's a strong need for family housing. And I know there are some collaborations happening around that. There's a nonprofit in the area that is acquiring duplex, triplex, quadplex facilities and doing renovations to make them into permanently affordable rental housing. So I think that's the kind of thing that would fall easily under the scope for this. I don't know that we have any proposals for that necessarily, but it's the kind of thing that I would love to support if it were proposed. I also think there's an issue with utility burden in low-income housing. And so the idea of looking for a proposal that would address energy efficiency in low-income housing, owner occupied and rental housing. I think there's conversations happening that I've been a part of all over the place right now about how do we get to how do we help landlords with energy efficiency while maintaining the affordability of their units to make them accessible for lower income people. I think that's something that I would definitely support if there were proposals under that. And then I just think we should keep in mind that there are all sorts of nonprofits out there that are doing that are partnering, that are teaming up, that are coming up with creative responses to these problems, and that many of them have adapted programs for COVID around these kind of ideas, and many of them probably have some things that they're working on that could benefit from a collaboration.
All of those are excellent ideas, and as you indicated, we are certainly working on the ones that you've mentioned, the rental and the utility burden, the care funding, to pay rents and that nature. As far as the landlords go, that's a little bit more tricky on how to do that. We think we have some underlying opinions about that we would agree to do the upgrades for them to maintain the facility for a number of years. We can put that in place via what's called a LORA, land use restriction agreement. And I think we can put that if the landlord agrees to it. The situation that we have to take a look at is escalation with regards to rents and how we tie that in, because things do cost and go up. So we have to figure that if it cost me $500 this year, in 5 years, I should be able to increase that simply due to inflation, et cetera. So those are some of the factors, but they are both being looked at right now. I know that you've probably also heard about the local housing trust fund. We are really trying to key into that. If that is able to manifest that, I think a lot of the projects that you're talking about right now will have a direct benefit from those types of fundings. The reason I say that is, unlike the SIP or block grant or other grant activities, it's unrestricted. We get to make the rules as to how the money is to be used. And of course, it would be tied, at least in part, it might not, where the funding is actually going to come from, I don't know. So don't run out and say, Stephen said this. So there's potential for monies to come from the general fund. There's potential for monies to come from other taxes, a sales tax increase, the 1/5 sales tax, such as what they've done in Pinellas, what they call a penny for Pinellas. And they've been able to generate well over $18 million or something like that in any given year toward housing, which of course, by the way, whatever we generate has to be divided amongst other municipalities. So not only does the county get a share, but all the municipalities get a share of the pie as well. So we are, with direction from the Board of County Commissioners, we are looking very strongly at how to manifest that low-income housing, not low-income housing, but the tax credit program. Anyway, so we're working on it. So now,
love it. Thank you.
The only other thing I want to mention to you is that the CDBG-CV has a short window to expend the money, 18 months. So that's why we didn't want to take on, say, a multi-phase or faceted program. We want to have a concentration so that we can get in there, hit it hard, get it completed. But types of programs that you're talking about, we're still in the discussion stages. And I simply don't think that we'll be able to put something on the table short term to make it a reality to fit in that 18 month.
Absolutely. Glad that we're talking about it and glad that it's all kind of still on the table. And I would absolutely throw my full support behind the motel
So,
transition.
sure.
Thanks.
All righty.
And may I add to what you're saying too about the funding or what we're seeing coming down from different funding agencies is a real focus on housing this time. And I know I'm working with the North Central Florida Community Action Agency, and they are focused big time too also on housing. So, you know, we can, any chance that we can partner with some of these agencies like that, you know, and I know that's where they want to put their money.
Also, a little off subject, as you know, the Sadowski monies are still out there that we would have gotten an allocation of $1.9 million. We rewrote the AHAC, as you all well know. We've increased the amount of spending in a lot of categories. We opened up some new categories, and hopefully they will not only give us our previous 1.9, but again, they will give us additional dollars of what's collected. So we'll be able to really come up with some innovative approaches to spending that money and putting it into the hands of persons that do. Come on, guys, you got anything else? You're awful quiet out there. You're never this quiet when you're all sitting in the same room.
Well, I definitely just throw my support behind the hotel. Like I said,
will too.
I think that's the right way to go. I think, of course, you know, I love you since you've came here. You've done a tremendous job in really caring about the needs of our community with affordable housing. That is just unique. And I think we need to find other hotels eventually
Yes.
that are in our, you know, county that are just sitting there, or they're not doing what they're supposed to do and they want to sell. Let's do that. And I think that's a great approach. And I think that'll help with our homeless population issue for years to come. And so that is brilliant, I think.
Well, if this turns out to be a success, I guarantee we'll be looking at additional ones. And depending on how funding goes, I think that we'll be able to actually build some facilities of ourselves or acquire some housing that was usually real housing that is no longer, they're going to be using it, you know, and things of that nature, doing investment in fixing it back up and putting it out there. So we're going to take an aggressive approach to this and see how much we can generate through this effort.
I think the consensus too, you're sharing some numbers with me about the homeless student population that we have.
So what I was saying early on is the point in time survey that was done in January, we had 657 identified homeless, and we had another 1,098 students that are deemed as being homeless. That means they're either fully homeless, they're sharing a house with somebody, or some other variety thereof. So we have a high student population of homelessness as well as those living in graves, living in tents, living in their cars, etc. So a 36-room project may not seem like much, but it is to those lucky 36 persons that get off the street. If this is a successful project, we can multiply on that and then hopefully, I won't say eliminate homelessness, but we can certainly do a lot in the way of aiding the most vulnerable in that population, which is what.
All right, well, do anyone else have anything else to say or any questions for our wonderful commissioner?
Well, you just know that we're committed. This commission is going to be committed to do whatever it is. And I'm out looking with Claudia stuff often, you know, and I'm scouting out all the time, trying to find pockets, you know, or places that look abandoned or neglected or, you know, anxious to sell. And she's been really good about, you know, following my crazy lead.
That's great, because it might be crazy now, but you know, as soon as I said, once hopefully the starts coming in, we can take advantage of that. We've already had several discussions with code enforcement about some of the abandoned properties that are out there. We don't have a forcing mechanism right now, unfortunately. Hopefully that will change in the near future. Then we can acquire those properties. We like to give them, you know, money, go and fix them up, put them out for sale. And we go to 50% of the low line. And that's our goal there. It's hard to buy houses in that 160 below range. They just don't exist. And when they do come on the market, they go very quickly because investors snap them up and things of that nature. So it's kind of hard to do that. So if we can get these, we can eliminate the investors coming out. We can sell directly to those that are most needed.
We're not looking just in Gainesville too, though, right? We're looking out in the outlying areas as
We
well.
don't look in Gainesville at all.
Okay, okay, good, because I've been looking in the outlying
No,
areas
we
too.
can't look. Gainesville has its own money.
Okay.
So we let Gainesville
Do that.
Okay, good, okay.
We go with everything outside of Gainesville.
Okay.
And depending on what type of project it is, it's CDG, we don't deal with Archer and Newberry, so that they're also
Right,
the funding. But when it comes to ship, everything goes except the CDG.
I got you. Oh, let me change the word crazy to outrageous, because I think at this point we need outrageous ideas.
We're with you.
Oh, yeah.
We are with you 100%.
Great, great. All right, well, I guess if no one else has anything to say, I guess we'll close this. I'm not sure when our next meeting is.
That's to be determined.
Okay.
We'll get in touch with you on that one. There's a couple of things we need to get set up first. Again, we're gonna be talking about those things, those items that we listed, the IRR, and some other things. Again, like I said, I just don't want to meet for the sake of meeting. I want to make sure that we have something substantial to discuss with you. But the IRR is something that is going to be required by the end of the year to be done. And I might want to probably get those letters out and get some responses back so that when they come back, we can actually sit down as a board and say, here's some of the recommendations we've received thus far. How do we feel about it? Do we want to act on it?
What is the deadline for this CDB? Isn't that coming up here,
We're going to have our first public hearing. It is actually due to the state March 15th.
That's
It is an
tight.
online application. So we just fill it out and press the submit button and off it goes.
Okay, so that's a tight schedule.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Yes, but you know, I have found that Claudia likes this. He had trouble, I guess. I don't know. I know she told me the other day, I'm only supposed to work 8 hours. I told her I do 8 hours in the morning.
Yeah, I understand. I totally understand. I understand. There's no such thing as a day
No.
or a weekend, you know, there's just.
Yes, no, I do.
Okay.
There's no such thing.
Well, I want to thank everybody for definitely being dedicated. And again, Mr. Weeks, thank you so much. You know, I think you're such a phenomenal guy.
Thank you.
Since I've been on this board, it's always a pleasure. You can always answer my questions. You always answer the phone. And thank all of you guys, especially Culvert Commissioner. Thank
I'm
you so
delighted to see you here. I
Yeah,
didn't realize you
yeah.
were doing this.
And she is phenomenal. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, I think this board's gonna go to a new level. And I think there's a hunger to see change in our affordable housing. And whether, you know, the other folks do it or not, we're gonna dedicate ourselves. And that's why I've been here for 8 years as a chair, because I love what I do. I want to see Gainesville change. I want to see the county change. And we have to find common ground to do so. So with that being said, guys, thank y'all so much. RD, good to see you, my vice chair, and everybody. And hope y'all have a wonderful day, and we'll get to you.
And by the way, if at any point you have any questions, you know, you can always call me. I'll be more than happy to answer anything that you have. If you have any additional proposals prior to and up to the public hearing, you're able to call me and we can discuss the merits of it. So again, thank you and all have a good evening.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
And with responsibility, that we will allow the, because I'm telling you that, I sit on two boards.
I know.
It's bad.